think that was, I understand that that was a conscious choice. Everybody will deny that, of course, but, you know, I live in Jeff City part of the week. I know what's going on. I can't tell you anything, but anyway, so this kind of long look and brings me back to thinking about the legal profession and what is it that makes us strong as a profession. Certainly the overused word diversity certainly does, but I think also having in some sense those of us who have been in the legal education business, as Dean Suney has done such a marvelous job here in Kansas City, of bringing to the profession people from various parts of our community and communities, and so that we are in a sense a reflection and a good reflection of the society that we serve. But I think probably more important than that is, or at least as important as that, is making individuals in the profession being capable of fulfilling their promise and their capabilities. I think we're really at our best when we encourage one another to maximize our own individual potential. And I think that that's really kind of the question that comes up always is, well, why is there a bar association for plaintiffs' lawyers and defense lawyers and local lawyers and women lawyers and black lawyers and this kind of thing? And doesn't that sort of like divide things up? No, I think what it does is that it helps us to find communities of interest, of people who are who share interests and can build communities within our profession, because I think that there is a lot of pressure on people who practice law particularly, and I think it is, in a sense, it's kind of isolated. And I say that, and I'm sort of surprised to hear myself saying, but I think about this, probably 2 or 3 times a week, because that's about the frequency with which we get circulated to us disciplinary matters. And I always think of disciplinary matters as a failure. It's an individual failure, yes, but it is also a failure because we have let people get isolated and get into trouble in the way that they get into trouble, and alcohol and drugs is a good way to start, but it has to do with that kind of isolation that one can have in a high-pressure environment or a high-pressure profession. So that I think that in a sense that we're at our best when we support one another and help us make through whatever it is, the issues that we have to deal with. So that's why I was happy, as Aaron said, to come and visit with you about this. I spoke to the corresponding group in St. Louis I guess it was about a year ago, the Lawyers for Equality. And I have to say that as I was watching the screen and listening to Lila read, what was that? That was the establishment of the legal community. That is just absolutely amazing. How that has come to the fore, and I was impressed. One of the people who was at last year's thing stood up. He was from Brian Caves, and said that recruitment of GLBT lawyers was one of their interests. I'm not sure if that's the same term I remember, but you know, society changes, and they're not just serving one another, they're serving clients. And I wonder if those clients aren't very interested in knowing what their employment and other attitudes and policies are with respect to members of this community. So in a sense, that is, I hate to have sounded the least bit cynical about that. I'm sure it was all for good intentions, and it is, and I hate to have even singled out a firm, because I think that an awful lot of times that people don't give lawyers and law firms the credit that they deserve for actually doing the right thing for the right reason. I know the public is always surprised by that, because all they know is Denny Crane, right? Or Alvin Shore, but you know, I haven't met anybody like that in the actual profession. I've really met more earnest and hardworking people than that. So with those thoughts, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this, and thank you for including me in it, and I wish you the best in the activities. You've got a wonderful group of board members, and I hope that this gets you off and running, and I'll stop talking and let you talk to one another, because that's probably why you came here. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Please stay.